Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love to the author and me. On to the show. At this time, Grey Wolf's mother and cousin's mother also smelled the grizzly bear. When they hunted grizzly bears, being stabbed by the claws on the bear's paw, a deep wound was cut. Even now, he has not fully healed. Therefore, they have a deep sense of the smell of this grizzly bear. Now after smelling the tyrannical and ferocious grizzly bear, his hair is all blown up. Subsequently, when seeing the grizzly bear, already turned into a corpse, there was shock in their eyes. In their cognition, this ferocious and tyrannical grizzly is already considered invincible. Hard to imagine, it will appear in front of them in the form of food. Although I don't know how this grizzly bear was hunted, but the awe of Su Lin in his eyes deepened. Because they felt that only Su Lin, who was so majestic, had the chance to fight the grizzly bear. Next, wolf father and wolf mother returned to the cave with many cubs. Back in the cave, Su Lin found that many new members of the wolf pack had been added. Originally only 8 Arctic wolves pack, now expanded to 12 heads, 4 new Arctic wolves have been added. 4 Arctic wolves, and 2 male wolves with level 5 strength attributes. Although the wolves who have just joined the wolves have to start with the wolves. But as the number of hunting increases, the more things you do, a powerful wolf clan will gradually rise in status among the wolf pack. Father Wolf also let out a low howl, and introduced the new member of the wolf pack to Su Lin. This is all absorbed from the wandering lone wolf. The strength of the large wolf pack in the west is very strong. The action is also very fast. At the beginning of expansion, it is like invincible, destroyed many small wolf packs. Instead of swallowing the members of the wolf pack, to expel them from the land. As a result, there were a lot more wandering lone wolves in this area. Father Wolf also took the opportunity to recruit many wolves. On the one hand, it is to expand its strength and prevent large wolves from really invading. On the other hand, Father Wolf also has expansion ambitions. As a wolf, for territory, there is an obsession that ordinary wolves can't imagine. Several new members of the wolf clan, looking at Su Lin's majestic wolf body, he also howled respectfully. After the wolf father introduced the new members of the wolf pack, he was also communicating with Su Lin, howling in a low voice. Howling wolves, expressed, and Surin's wolves to join forces, not only to fight together, the large wolf pack that may kill, it also means to join hands in hunting. In the fits and starts of wolf howling exchanges, only then did Su Lin find out. It turns out that Father Wolf's territory is the same as Su Lin's territory. Only 1 herd of musk oxen and 1 herd of reindeer migrated, and the rest of the races are still on their way. The musk ox herd was also much stronger than the musk ox herd on the Surin territory. There are more than 30 musk oxen. Such a huge herd of musk oxen, with the current strength of Wolf Dad's wolf pack, it is simply impossible to divide the battlefield while hunting musk oxen. Another herd of reindeer, there are more than 50 reindeer, including the leader of the reindeer. The wolf father's wolf howl repeatedly conveyed a strong meaning. As for this time, the source of food for Wolf Dad and Wolf Mother, it was on the ice, and half a seal that was eaten by polar bears was missed. Also, we also hunted several Arctic hares and many lemmings. This is what supports the wolves until now. And with these more than 300 caddies of grizzly bear meat, the wolves can eat a full meal again, and they have lasted for a month. Su Lin howled back to Father Wolf. Agree to join forces. Although, at the moment he has no shortage of food at all. But for those who can help wolf parents and mothers, still very happy. Next, in the cave, the rest of the cubs and their mother are still snuggling. Grey Wolf's mother and cousin's mother had also recovered from the shock a long time ago. They and the cubs are licking each other's fur. Even Wolf sister and Wolf mother are no exception. Level 5 Wolf mother, the current figure is also 1.78 meters, and the hair has become brighter and softer. The current strength of the Wolf mother is more worthy of the status of the Wolf Queen in the wolf pack. After Su Lin and Father Wolf finished communicating, I went over to see Mother Wolf. The wolf girl in the arms of the wolf mother is also describing to the wolf mother how delicious the grizzly meat is. Grizzly meat is based on the taste buds of wolves, soft and plump. It is different from the meat of large herbivores. In terms of deliciousness, it is still beyond the musk beef and reindeer meat. After Su Lin came over, he asked Xiao Hui to drag the grizzly bear meat to the wolf mother. The last time I came to let the wolf mother eat delicious fish, this time, I also want mother wolf to taste the soft bear meat. Grizzly bear meat must be something wolf mother has never eaten. Ah! At this time, the wolf mother did not disappoint the enthusiasm of the two cubs, and let out a low howl. He lowered his head and bit a piece of grizzly bear meat. Wolf mother is already level 5, the wolf teeth in the mouth are also very sharp. Even frozen grizzly bear meat can be easily torn off. Eat the grizzly bear meat into your mouth. After chewing a few times, his eyes brightened. This grizzly meat is really okay. Perhaps the degree of deliciousness and refreshingness is not as good as that of herbivores, but with a different flavor. The cold temperature in the Arctic keeps the grizzly bear meat frozen. Therefore, the meaty taste of grizzly meat is perfectly preserved. This made the wolf mother bow her head and start eating. Regarding the food brought by her cub, the wolf mother was no longer polite. Because mother wolf knows very well the current hunting ability of your own cubs. If even this ferocious grizzly bear can be hunted and killed, will there still be a shortage of food? But his own wolves, I have always been in the state of eating the last meal and not the next meal. Ah! Mother wolf also howled in satisfaction after tasting the soft grizzly bear meat. As for the rest of the wolves in the pack, they were all drooling while watching the wolf mother eating. But fortunately, recently, I have also eaten prey. It's not like last time, howling crazily. Especially when the tall wolf father swept them with his light blue wolf eyes, the members of the wolf pack were all honest and did not dare to make any more noises. The majesty of Father Wolf among the wolves is still supreme. Certainly, this majesty is also based on the strength of Father Wolf, who is already at the peak of level 6. If there is no strength to support, presumably, many challengers have appeared among the wolves. Next, Su Lin also called Father Wolf to eat. Dad Wolf has never eaten grizzly bear meat, so he is also very curious about grizzly bear meat. Come to Mother Wolf, it also bit off a large piece of flesh from the grizzly bear meat. After eating into the mouth and chewing twice, there was some surprise in the wolf's eyes. Unexpectedly, the meat quality of the bulky grizzly is not bad. It's just this big, clumsy thing, although living alone, but fierce and powerful, wolves are powerless. Otherwise, in the extreme night, they will also hunt and kill grizzly bears as food reserves. At this moment, Su Lin didn't know what Father Wolf was thinking. He looked at the wolf father and wolf mother who were eating, thinking about helping them more when hunting in the future. Because after being reborn as a wolf, the wolf father and mother have very sincere feelings for him. Next, wolf father and wolf mother devoured it, and there were more than 30 caddies of grizzly bear meat. After eating these grizzly bear meat, the wolf father and wolf mother are also 70 to 80% full. The wolves are all crisis conscious. Adult wolves will not eat until their belly is round and they can't run. Now there are more than 200 caddies of grizzly bear meat. Su Lin gestured very generously and asked Father Wolf to arrange it. Father Wolf is currently in the wolf pack. There were 12 wolves. You can eat 200 caddies of food in one meal. This grizzly bear meat, for the wolves to really eat, is probably not much left. So Father Wolf just divides up the grizzly bear meat. It just took it to a corner in the cave and stored it. In the inherent thinking of the wolf father, the wolves are still hungry to exert greater power. Certainly, this is also the reason why Father Wolf has great prestige and strength among the wolves. But even though Dad Wolf has a lot of prestige, there are still many wolves in the wolf pack, drooling at the food. There were even 2 lone wolves who had just joined, trying to come forward to bite a few bites of food. This made Father Wolf's eyes flash fiercely, and his fangs showed their sharpness. After a hard lesson, these 2 lone wolves who just joined, bite their necks to bleed out blood. After the 2 lone wolves screamed and begged for mercy, Father Wolf stopped. The ferocious and powerful suppression of the wolf father made the members of the wolf pack who had thoughts about food. All of a sudden, their tails were between their legs, and they looked away from the wolf's head. For such a cruel scene among wolves, Su Lin didn't say anything. After all, wolves have survived like this for thousands of years. Next, the wolf mother kept howling to communicate with Su Lin and the wolf sister. Especially Wolf Girl, like a baby, lying in the arms of the wolf mother, seeing the wolf girl snuggling up to the wolf mother, Su Lin planned to stay here for 2 more days, in his own cave. There is a little lone wolf staying behind, so no accidents will happen. Due to the pack of wolves in the cave, there were already 4 more wolves, plus Su Lin and the other 5, in a small cave. It seemed a lot more lively. In the excitement, time also passed quietly. It was 3 days in a flash. Su Lin led the pack of wolves and stayed with the wolf father and mother wolf for 3 days. These 3 days have been very fulfilling. Every day, I communicate intimately with the wolf mother for a while, then follow Father Wolf. I went out of the cave to have a look, the prey on the territory. A large herd of musk oxen and a large herd of reindeer are extremely difficult to hunt. The leader of the musk ox herd, Su Lin, took a look, and they all reached level 10. This is almost the same as the strength of a female grizzly bear. Only the musk ox has sharp horns, not like a grizzly bear with paws, claws, and tusks. Therefore, musk oxen are easier to deal with than grizzly bears. But the leader of the musk ox is obviously very stable, and he is also very experienced in dealing with wolves. In Surin and Wolf Dad, he led the wolves to test several times. The leader of the musk ox commanded the herd of musk ox, and put them in a defensive formation. Don't charge rashly, and don't pay attention to the provocation of the wolves. Therefore, there has been little gain for the musk ox herd. And the rest of the reindeer herd. Surin didn't see the strong reindeer leader amidst the howling of the wolf father. There are only about 50 reindeer here and there. During several small-scale probing charges by the wolves, it turned out to be quite a harvest. Surin saw the right opportunity and hunted and killed 2 full-grown reindeer. After hunting, once again, I tasted fresh deer blood. Deer blood is simply the best drink for hunters. Sweet and delicious, endless aftertaste. As for venison, also top-notch food. The taste of venison, much better than grizzly meat and musk beef. Both adult reindeer are strong. It has a weight of more than 300 kgs. The pack of wolves where Father Wolf lives, eat twice a month. Therefore, these 600 or 700 kgs of reindeer meat, plus more than 200 kgs of grizzly bear meat, enough for Dad Wolf's pack to last for a while. Ah! 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 2 reindeer were successfully hunted, and the wolves were also very excited. Surprised howls of wolves echoed in the open Arctic ice field. They looked at Su Lin with even more awe. Is this the wolf's cub, brave and invincible than a wolf? Especially, the speed like wind and electricity made all members of the wolf pack feel afraid. Facing that speed, they couldn't even think of running away. Now Surin, after helping Father Wolf hunt 2 Arctic reindeer, he planned to go back. When we go back, the xenogeneic serum obtained was given to Father Wolf. Just after using it, Father Wolf didn't respond yet. After returning to the cave, Father Wolf's pale blue eyes were hurting as if they were about to stare out. Enhanced serum is to break the shackles of genes. Among them, Su Lin has tasted the pain. The xenogeneic serum is used to refine genes. Thinking about it, the pain was no less than what I had suffered. But Su Lin is doing it for Father Wolf's benefit. I want to use the strength of the wolf father to evolve into a different species. Strength will also be improved by leaps and bounds. By the time, can better lead the wolves to survive. Mother wolf doesn't have to go hungry too often. Ah! At this time, Father Wolf began to howl in pain in the cave. With its wolf claws, it slapped fiercely on the cave floor. Originally pale blue eyes, under the severe pain, there was also a lot of red blood. The wolves didn't know what happened to the alpha wolf. They all stood restlessly in the cave. Mother wolf looked at Father Wolf in pain, with sadness and anxiety in her eyes. But still maintained the last trace of calm. With a low howl, signaled the wolves to a few wolves to guard outside the cave, prevent other hunters from attacking wolves at this time. After all this generation, the wolf mother just stepped forward, trying to lick the wolf father's hair and share the wolf father's pain. But the crazy wolf father, both destructive power and attack power, can be called terrifying. Mother wolf lingered by the side for a long time, also failed to get close to father wolf, he could only watch anxiously. The rest of the wolf pack members also had worried flashes in their eyes. The alpha wolf is the ruler and leader of the wolf pack. If something happens to the alpha wolf, it is very likely that the wolf pack will have to face dissolution. After all, the strength of the wolf mother, the wolf queen, is still a bit weak. Unable to support the wolves. At this time, the wolf father's painful wolf howl could be heard endlessly in the cave. As time goes by, father wolf's wolf howling gradually died down. The tall wolf body also began to undergo subtle changes. Seeing this scene, Su Lin was relieved. After another moment, the changes in father wolf gradually stopped. The wolf father's already tall wolf body has also grown a lot bigger. Not counting the tail of the wolf, it reached 2.23 meters, the limbs also became very thick, hair is softer, the wolf claws and fangs are also sharper than before. Out of pain, the recovered wolf father, he began to lean against the stone wall, gasping for breath. Still in front of my eyes, the fear of the pain just now. At this time, Su Lin, looking at the recovered father wolf, with a thought, father wolf's attribute values appeared in front of his eyes. Race, Arctic wolf, exotic. Level 6. Vitality, 778. Stamina, 79. Strength, 75. Defense, 67. Speed, 71. After taking the foreign serum, father wolf's strength has improved a lot. Such a strength attribute is already very strong. Absolutely, it surpassed the upper limit that the Arctic wolf should have. The stamina and strength of more than 70 are no worse than ordinary musk ox and reindeer. With father wolf's current strength, coupled with his rich hunting experience, if you want to hunt alone large prey, you can do it. It also makes Su Lin no longer have to worry about wolf father and mother wolf. Then Surin and the cubs, after staying among the wolves for a few more hours, he planned to leave. The wolf father, who is fully recovered, saw that the cubs were leaving, just howl. Signal Surin to take away the biggest reindeer carcass. After all, the results of this hunt were almost entirely due to Su Lin's own efforts. Su Lin wanted to refuse, but father wolf had already dragged out the carcass of the reindeer with great effort. Besides, the wolf father also signaled Su Lin to take back the mother of the little gray wolf and the mother of the cousin. In the eyes of father wolf, Su Lin is also the first adult wolf clan. It's time to pick a mate. After all, the reproduction of the wolf clan must also be done. And among the Surin wolves, only my cousin and a female wolf are still too few. Certainly, father wolf didn't know, there are 2 patrolling female wolves on Su Lin's territory. But whether you know it or not, father wolf's gesture, it still made Su Lin a little confused. Su Lin felt that he was really not mentally prepared for this. Even if he has accepted the fact that he was reborn as a wolf, but let him mate with a female wolf, he still can't do it. He held back to father wolf, indicate this is not in a hurry. He is still young. But Surin is not in a hurry. Grey wolf's mother and cousin's mother howled again and again. He also wagged his tail quickly, looking at him flatteringly. Both female wolves wanted to go to Surin's pack. On the one hand, I went to the wolf pack and could see my own cubs all the time. On the other hand, with a powerful alpha wolf like Su Lin, there is no need to worry about food. With food, at least the injuries they suffered from the grizzly can heal quickly. And Grey Wolf and his cousin, he also came over and began to howl and beg Su Lin. This made Su Lin finally accept the 2 female wolves. But for the reproduction of offspring mentioned by father wolf, still out of ideas. Next, Su Lin bid farewell to the wolves. This time I came to visit wolf father and mother wolf, and only brought about 300 caddies of grizzly bear meat, but the harvest is really a lot. a caribou carcass, and 2 female wolves. Whenever Su Lin saw 2 female wolves, he looked at his eyes with love and affection, he felt his scalp go numb. Showing sharp fangs, the 2 female wolves held their tails between their legs and dared not look any further. Immediately afterwards, Su Lin began to bid farewell to Wolf Father and Mother Wolf. Ah! 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 Loud wolf howls echoes over the open Arctic sky. Then, Surin led the pack of wolves and began to turn back. On the way back, didn't meet any blind hunter, even if there are those who follow the smell of Arctic reindeer, they always take a look at them from a distance. After seeing that there were 4 or 5 adult wolves, they all retreated. If a lone wolf, these hunters dare to provoke. But once it is a united pack of wolves, there are almost no hunters who dare to provoke them. It's quiet all the way. Xiao Hui dragged the reindeer carcass behind. Gray and White Wolf and Cousin are closely following their mother. And the wolf girl was a little bit reluctant to leave the wolf mother at first. But heartless it, after walking for a while, I forgot all about it. Start bouncing around happily. On the way back, I even found 2 lemmings from the snow cave. This made the wolf girl howl excitedly. The immature wolf howl sounded from time to time. It didn't take long to return to the cave. The little lone wolf was also at the entrance of the cave, welcoming them. After coming back, Surin redefines the ranks of wolf pack members again. At present, there are 2 more members of the wolf pack. Su Lin also promoted the little lone wolf to become the second wolf. It is mainly responsible for the hunting of wolves and driving away foreign hunters. This promotion was a great surprise to the little lone wolf. It howled repeatedly, expressing its loyalty to the wolf. As for Xiao Hui is still along, it's just that there is no specific task, just follow Su Lin's side every day, and just serve as a helper. At the same time, Su Lin also promoted his cousin to become Ilong, responsible for staying in the cave and taking care of the cubs. As for the mother of the cousin's sister and the mother of the little gray wolf, they both have attributes that can reach level 4. As high wolves, they were assigned to the little lone wolf. If there is a hunting mission or a hunter invades, you need to follow the little lone wolf on the mission. On weekdays, he is responsible for patrolling and guarding around the cave. At present, there is a lot of food in the cave. Enough to eat for a while. As for the little gray wolf's mother and the cousin's mother, after showing their fangs to threaten them, they didn't dare to show any more. After all, the authority of the alpha wolf is still very important in the hearts of ordinary wolves. After arranging all this, the sky outside gradually darkened. Su Lin motioned them all to go back to rest. The little lone wolf who had just been promoted to Ilong didn't take a rest immediately. Instead, he took the 2 female wolves dutifully and prepared to go out to inspect the territory. Gray and White Little Wolf and Wolf Sister, the 2 cubs are already tired after driving all the way. Returning to his place, he fell asleep soundly on the Arctic fox fur. With plenty of food, the life of the wolves began to look very leisurely. The wolves of Surin now, the rule in this area has gradually stabilized. It was another 10 days in a flash. Xiao Hui among the wolves hasn't broken through to level 5 yet. It was Little Lone Wolf who broke through to level 4 first. Race, Arctic Wolf, Exotic. Level 4. Vitality, 523. Stamina, 52. Strength, 51. Defense, 49. Speed, 53. The strength of the little lone wolf, nowadays, it is not inferior to the normal level 5 Arctic wolf. If it is about real combat power, I am afraid that the little lone wolf is far above the level 5 Arctic wolf. Even Xiao Hui, almost no longer the little lone wolf's opponent. At present, the strength of the little lone wolf can be regarded as truly matching its status in the pack of wolves. This period of time, Su Lin also went around the ice layer again. At present, there are many more creatures on the ice layer than under the polar night. With his speed, he hunted down a sea lion. These days, eating sea lions, it also provided Su Lin with more than 100 evolutionary points. He has already accumulated more than 500 evolutionary points, one step closer to level 8. Ah. Su Lin in the cave let out a low howl, stretched his waist, he looked out at the snow-capped Arctic ice fields. Start to greet, shall we, and go out to hunt. Today's wolf pack territory has 2 female wolves patrolling. There is also a little lone wolf who visits from time to time. It's quite comfortable. On the territory, some new species have also migrated. There are 7 or 8 moose herds, and a small reindeer herd with only 5 reindeer. Surin has eaten these prey. The evolution value has already been reduced to the lower limit of 0.1. So there is no desire to hunt. After coming out, Su Lin took shall we, and went to the ice layer again. Ice layer, it is the largest in the North Pole. The products are rich and the species are also diverse. There is the prey that I want to hunt. Su Lin and Xiao Hui are very fast, in a short time onto the ice. The aurora on the ice has disappeared. Without the magnificent aurora, but in the sunlight, the species in the ice layer also multiplied. Seals, sea lions, walruses, Arctic ducks, and some flying birds, it makes the ice layer a scene full of vitality. Surin looked at the prey, they are all a little greedy. However, these prey are not easy to hunt, and they will jump into the water when they are in danger. Last time I hunted sea lions, there is also a trace of luck. This time, Su Lin focused on a small walrus. This little walrus is only about 2 meters in size. But fat, the weight must be 800 or 900 kgs. The walrus is the elephant of the sea, it has a huge body with 2 long tusks. It is the largest animal in the ocean except for cetaceans. But walruses are bulky and have weak eyesight. Out of the sea, it will look cumbersome and lacks means of attack. Therefore, the walrus was chosen by Surin as the first hunting target. The blood and vitality of adult walruses are too large, thick skin and fat. With Su Lin's current lethality, even if he turned on the hunting talent, it would be difficult to cause huge damage to the walrus in a short time. So he chose the little walrus. This little walrus only has level 8 attributes. Race, walrus. Level 8. Chi and blood, 1523. Stamina, 73. Strength, 69. Defense, 63. Speed, 21. Su Lin glanced at the attribute value of the little walrus. In addition to the large enough blood, the rest of the numbers didn't even reach the average. This made Su Lin's light blue wolf eyes reveal a fierce hunter's light. And the little walrus resting on the ice layer clumsily moved its dark red skin. He was still enjoying the soft sunshine comfortably, and didn't feel the danger coming at all. But at this time, the city of Norilsk in Russia. In an institution of higher learning, the pure and beautiful Tiffany is publishing her academic papers on the high platform. The topic of this academic paper is wonderful creatures of the Arctic ice field. Due to the in-depth documentary, coupled with various shooting and recording short films, the thesis has attracted wide attention in the college. Today is Tiffany's official speech in front of the whole school. And the pure and pretty Divina is also sitting under the stage, take the lead in applauding from time to time, cheering for my friend Tiffany. At this time, amidst the loud applause from the audience, suddenly, a slender, gentle figure walked towards her. This is Franz, who is also an alumnus of the school. Hello, classmate Divina, do you have time to come out and chat? Franz came to Divina's side and said with a friendly face. On his handsome face, there was a pair of golden brown eyes, which looked very piercing. Coupled with a strong affinity, this made Franz very popular with the opposite in the academy. Find me? This made Divina a little curious, for Franz of academy fame. She still understands. Franz is also a biological research scholar in the college, and in the field of genetic research, academics have always been among the best. His father is also a director of a well-known biological company, and it is not an exaggeration to say that he has a lot of money. It can be said that Franz's conditions are perfect in every respect. Usually, Divina and Franz have never met each other, so I'm curious why Franz came to her. Yes, Miss Divina, I have something to ask you. There was still a friendly smile on the handsome Franz's face. All right. Divina didn't refuse either. She followed Franz out of the auditorium into the quiet hallway of the college. At this time, Franz smiled and said, Miss Divina, I heard that you recently went to the Arctic ice with Tiffany to take pictures? You also recorded the life trajectories of many creatures. The pretty and beautiful Divina blinked her big beautiful eyes and said, Yes, what's the matter? Are you also interested in creatures in the Arctic ice? Franz smiled and nodded and said, That's right, so I sincerely invite you and Miss Tiffany to go to the North Pole to shoot with us again. Don't you know if I have this honor? Of course, I will settle all the expenses on calm this time. Hearing what Franz said, it was a lie for Divina to say that she was not moved. But I heard that a lynx recently injured several people in Siberia, now it has fled to the North Pole. So even if you are very excited, she still shook her head and said, I won't go. I heard that the Arctic ice is not safe recently. This made Franz, with a sigh of regret, but he still took out a stack of thick banknotes wrapped in envelopes from the briefcase he carried with him and said, Okay, Miss Divina, that's really a pity, but this is 300,000 rubles, and I want to buy something from you and Miss Tiffany. Huh? What do you want to buy? And it costs 300,000 rubles. Divina was a little puzzled. The standard of living in Russia has never been high. 300,000 rubles was a considerable sum. Enough for ordinary families, living expenses for a long time. For Divina, who is still a student, during the entire university period, all the expenses added together will not cost so much. Franz said directly, I want you and Miss Tiffany to record the life trajectories and locations of all Arctic creatures. Oh. What do you want these for? Franz smiled and said, As you know, many creatures in the Arctic are protected species. This time I took the security team to take pictures and research together. So when you are going to encounter some protected species, avoid them in advance, and save yourself from being labeled as a poacher by the authorities. Maybe it's Franz's strong and friendly smile, or maybe it's Franz's background. Divina nodded in relief and said, Okay, then I will discuss it with Tiffany later, and then send it to your Facebook. Franz took out a business card from his breast pocket and handed it to Divina. Yes, this is my business card with all my contact information on it. Please keep the other 300,000 rubles. Oh, no need, it's too much money. But Franz just waved his hand chicly, put down the money, turned and left. But when Franz walked out of the corridor of the college, the friendly smile on that handsome face gradually disappeared. Instead of being cold, he picked up the phone and dialed a number. Slanka, how is your team preparing? Take all the weapons and equipment and set off for the North Pole. This time, we will not only capture the ferocious lynx, but also bring some species from the Arctic back to the company for research. Ah. At this time, the Arctic ice, a ferocious hunt has already begun. Surin's speed is like wind and electricity. It took less than 2 seconds to reach the little walrus. 2 seconds, this is a very short speed. The little walrus had no time to react. When it saw the white wolf appearing in front of it like a teleportation, its small eyes were full of panic. It couldn't figure out the white wolf in front of it. How can I have such an incomprehensible speed? I can't figure it out even more. A mere white wolf, how dare to attack it? There is a whole herd of walruses around it. But when the little walrus clumsily wanted to move its body, Surin with cold eyes, the strengthened right front paw slapped the little walrus the head. Pung! With a force of more than 100, it hit the little walrus on the head. With Shen Meng's strength, the little walrus was completely dizzy with one blow. The sharp wolf claws also instantly tore open the thick skin and fat of the little walrus. Blood suddenly flowed wantonly from the head of the walrus. And then, the walrus herd started roaring. They were startled when they saw the white wolf rushing over suddenly. Can be followed by, it is anger. Even polar bears would not dare to rush in so aggressively when faced with a herd of walruses. How dare this white wolf? In anger, they move their clumsy and huge bodies. He wanted to come over and use his long fangs to ruthlessly pierce the white wolf's body. But they are too slow. Only the speed of 20 or 30, in the eyes of Su Lin today, it is not a threat at all. Those long fangs, it may seem startling. But the attack speed is not worth mentioning. With a long howl, Su Lin summoned Xiao Hui to drag the food away. The little walrus has a huge body. Even though the two of them dragged, they were quickly chased up by the walrus herd. The prey I just killed, Su Lin naturally didn't want to think about it, so he just gave up. He looked at the group of walruses with 4 or 5 heads. A pair of pale blue wolf eyes narrowed, revealing a hint of ferocity. Then the sharp wolf claws popped out completely, shining coldly in the sunlight. If in the sea, such a group of walruses can really be regarded as an overlord. But this is ice, it's ashore. With its clumsy and huge body, the walrus can't exert any power at all. It's here, a group of charging musk oxen are more deterrent than walruses. Ah! With the cold killing intent and the brutal howling of wolves, rumbles across the ice. At this time, many species that are resting on the ice are rolling over. The body jumped into the sea flexibly. Then poked out half of his head, watching the fight between the majestic white wolf and the pack of walruses. At this time, the clumsy walrus had already crawled over. The fangs, which were 70 or 80 centimeters in length, were also fiercely heading towards Su Lin. But fierceness flashed in Su Lin's eyes. For the speed of the walrus, he wasn't afraid at all. Turning sideways with a little ease, he dodged the attack of the walrus fangs. The fangs smashed the ice, countless shattered ice blocks were stirred up immediately, and Surin's sharp wolf claws, it also aimed at the eyes of this adult walrus, and slapped it hard. Perhaps he could not kill, this is a walrus with a huge body and extremely terrifying vitality. But it's easy enough to inflict some indelible trauma on them. Pung! Hard hit, wolf claws as sharp as blades, grab a few bloodstains directly from the walrus eyes. Even though the walrus closed its eyes in advance, the defense of the eyelids could not resist the sharp wolf claws at all. The bloodstains torn from the wolf's claws also completely tore the walrus' small eyes into pieces. Severe pain spread from the eyes to the whole body of the walrus. With a huge body of 3 to 4 meters. Go crazy on the ice. And the other walrus attacks have also arrived. Surin faced these attacks. Take a leap, leaping on the heads of a crowd of walruses, that sharp right claw, just at the weak point and pain of the walrus, attack wantonly. Reborn as a wolf, the so-called morality and benevolence have long since become a thing of the past in Su Lin. Really fight, he has also learned how to be vicious and unscrupulous. Every attack of the wolf's claws is aimed at the fatal weakness of the walrus. But soon, in the frantic swing of the frenzied walrus, Su Lin was also thrown down, crashed into a huge shard of ice. Pung! The crushed ice vibrated slightly and dropped a lot of ice balls. But the originally imposing walrus herd, for a while, they all stopped in place. No more attacking, because they have already noticed that this majestic white wolf is not easy to mess with. Facing the white wolf with a speed as fast as wind and lightning, and a flexible and changeable wolf body, they are clumsy, and they are simply at a loss. This white wolf looked like a ghost butcher from just now, in the herd of walruses, indiscriminately causing horrific killings. If you're enjoying my content, please consider donating a coffee. Or checking out my shirts on TeePublic. Walruses look huge, the vitality and blood value can also be called terrifying. In the water, the huge body is also quite flexible. But on the shore, they are so clumsy. Facing polar bears that are not very flexible, it can also rely on its thick flesh and fat, as well as its long fangs, to fight to the death. But facing a hunter like Surin, they can't even be touched. Generally speaking, it is reasonable to say that the attack power of the wolves cannot even break through their flesh. But the attack power of this white wolf can be called terrifying. The sharp wolf claws and fangs can easily tear through their defenses. This made a group of walruses with reasonable IQs have no intention of going forward. The pain in the vital parts of their bodies also reminded them of the ferocity and viciousness of the white wolf in front of them. Only the female walrus looked at her baby and howled in pain. At this time, the little walrus, he also barely recovered from the dizziness. Just when it was about to struggle and return to the walrus herd, but seeing the majestic white wolf stained with a lot of blood, he got up, then shook the icicles from his hair. A wolf confronts the whole herd of walruses, it can be said. At present, Su Lin's combat power is considered to be at its peak in the entire North Pole. The strengthened right claw has reached an attack power of 130, and has a peak speed of more than 50 meters per second. Such him, as long as you don't go into the water, even in the face of the walrus herd, it is easy to handle. Walruses are too clumsy and too slow. This is also the reason why Surin targeted the little walrus today. After a confrontation between Surin and the walrus, those wolf eyes that shone fiercely, saw the walrus herd and had no intention of coming forward, just let out a long howl, continued to greet Xiaohui and dragged the little walrus away. The little walrus, who has come to his senses and wants to resist again. He was slapped down by Su Lin again. This paw slapped the little walrus' throat, and blood gushed out suddenly. I guess it won't be long, the huge vitality of the little walrus will be gone. Next, it was only after Su Lin and Xiaohui joined forces that they dragged the little walrus out of the ice. Along the way of dragging, there was a bright red bloodstain. After dragging the baby walrus out, already out of breath. Just now in the walrus herd, a fight, Su Lin also consumed a lot of energy, but in no hurry to return to the cave, off the ice. He used an evolution potion and started eating. After the icy energy of the evolution potion flooded the whole body, Surin's sharp fangs easily tore open the little walrus flesh, tearing off a large piece of flesh and blood. The walrus meat is slightly sour. The meat is also slightly fatty. Relatively speaking, it is far less delicious than reindeer meat. Ding! The host eats the walrus and gains 24 evolutionary points. However, with the large amount of evolutionary value obtained, let Su Lin not care about the taste of the meat. After all, the evolution value is what he needs most. With a large amount of evolution value acquisition, Su Lin also has a big appetite. Ding! The host eats the walrus and gains 23.5 evolutionary points. Ding! The host eats the walrus and gains 23 evolutionary points. Ding! The host eats the walrus and gains 22.5 evolutionary points. In a short time, it was 10 caddies of walrus meat that went into the stomach. It also provided him with more than 200 evolutionary points. At present, there are nearly 800 points of evolution. The distance to break through to level 8 is getting closer. After Su Lin finished eating, let Xiaohui eat too. When it comes to the taste of food, Xiaohui is never picky. As long as it can fill your stomach, you can eat any kind of food. Xiaohui started to gobble it up. In a short time, it was also 10 caddies of walrus meat that was eaten in the stomach, and stopped after eating 6 to 7 cents full. Next, Su Lin and Xiaohui dragged the fat little walrus back to the cave. Along the way, when passing through the territory of other hunters, naturally, it was also followed and tempted by some hunters. Among them, the most encountered is the lone wolf, but a wandering lone wolf, looking at the figures of Su Lin and Xiaohui, they also followed for a while before leaving. A lone wolf without territory has no place to hunt. Is often bullied existence. There are very few little lone wolves, that kind of fierce existence. The warm season, when food is plentiful, is fine, and the lone wolf may still be able to eat some leftovers. If the next polar night comes and no wolves are found to take them in, I am afraid that under the extreme night, they will be hunted down by other hunters as rations. Soon, after Su Lin and Xiaohui came to the territory of their wolves, their smell, it immediately attracted the female wolf who was patrolling here. The female wolf also began to help drag it up. After returning to the cave, as a reward, Su Lin also bit off flesh and blood weighing 30 to 40 caddies from the walrus and gave it to the female wolf. This made the female wolf howl to Su Lin again and again, expressing surprise. 30 to 40 caddies of walrus meat, it is the usual food share of a female wolf for a month. After it wolfed down 7 or 8 caddies on the spot, with food in its mouth, it was ready to be buried in a place marked with its own scent. Back to the cave, Surin then greeted a few wolves and ate walrus meat. Especially the little lone wolf who has been promoted to level 4, Surin has given it the privilege to eat whatever it wants. The taste of walrus meat is really not very delicious. But when the wolves are extremely hungry, they even eat the roots and fruits. So there is food to eat. The members of the wolf pack are very satisfied. Only the wolf girl, who has been spoiled all the time, after 2 bites, she didn't eat anymore. She thought that reindeer meat was still delicious, so she ran to eat reindeer meat again. Su Lin didn't say anything. Now in the cave, there is plenty of food. There are also 500 caddies of musk beef, more than 100 caddies of reindeer meat, and this baby walrus just hunted. The stored food has reached more than 1,000 caddies. Even if the wolves don't go hunting for 2 or 3 months, the food is more than enough. And Grey Wolf's mother and cousin's mother, with a stable food intake, the wound on the wolf's body that was scratched by the grizzly bear's claws had already healed more than half. Daily hunting tasks are no longer affected. Nowadays, Su Lin glanced at the attribute strength of the members of the wolf pack. It probably took a day or 2 to find that Xiao Hui broke through level 5. Gray and White Little Wolf and Wolf Sister are almost on the verge of breaking through to level 3. The wolf bodies of the 2 little wolves have broken through to 1 meter. As for the strength of the cousin, it is also steadily improving towards level 5. And the rest of the female wolves, since adulthood is long gone, growth potential is gone, strength has always been stagnant. At this time, Su Lin, looking at the darkened night outside, Yu reading www.yuyukansha.com. That is, ready to rest. The life of wolves is not so colorful, always switch between hunting and rest. But, when the dark night begins to fall again, a purple lynx stained with blood on its tusks and claws, came quietly to the Arctic ice sheet. Time flies like a white horse, in a flash it was 3 days later. Ah! A loud wolf howl sounded over the cold North Pole. Xiao Hui officially broke through to level 5, originally, his body was 1.89 meters, but it also broke through 2 meters. Right now, it is howling with excitement. Race, Arctic Wolf Xenomorph. Level 5. Vitality, 635. Stamina, 63. Strength, 61. Defense, 60. Speed, 62. Xiao Hui's current strength is no less than that of a level 6 Arctic wolf. Coupled with a strong resistance to attack, I'm afraid that even the old wolf father couldn't help Xiao Hui at all. If Xiao Hui is fierce enough, now even if you are alone, you can hunt some juvenile musk ox or reindeer. Xiao Hui is outside the cave, howled with excitement for a while, just returned to the cave. Xiao Hui has broken through to level 5, and his strength against wolves has also improved a lot. Hunting big game herds in the future, whether it is to divide the battlefield or contain it, it will be much easier. And Surin, during these 3 days, some people also devoured 30 to 40 caddies of walrus meat. He was given another 200 evolutionary points. The current evolution value already has more than 900 points. It is getting closer and closer to being promoted to level 8. Su Lin let out a low howl. Take Xiao Hui again and go hunting. After breaking through, Xiao Hui was very excited. Encountered on the territory, the herd of more than 20 reindeer is still eager to try. Result, in the past, it has been showing off its power for a long time, and the reindeer are just looking at it vigilantly. Didn't take it seriously, and didn't run around. This made Xiao Hui rush to the herd of reindeer angrily, but soon, he was kicked severely by several adult stags in the herd. If it wasn't for Xiao Hui's quick escape, the sharp antlers would teach it a painful lesson. Ah! Ah! Xiao Hui screamed all the way, and ran back to the boss. Regarding this scene, Su Lin just glanced indifferently, then withdrew his gaze. Xiao Hui's current strength is almost the same as that of the wolf father back then. Even hunting a single adult reindeer is powerless, let alone challenging a herd of reindeer. Su Lin ignored its screams. Just again, came the ice. At present, most of the species that have not eaten yet are all here in the ice. Even Surin was thinking, it would also be a good choice to strengthen the lungs with the enhanced serum. You can dive into the water to breathe, go hunt all kinds of Arctic fish. This can also speed up the speed of your own evolution. But, these are currently only in the beautiful vision. After Surin came to the ice layer, there are many more species found in the ice than a few days ago. It's just that these species, the relatively clumsy walruses and sea lions, have already preyed on them. Surin looked at the boundless ice, watching the seals and Arctic ducks resting at the icebreak, and they looked at themselves very vigilantly. Far from it, the carelessness and negligence of the walrus herd. This made Su Lin give up on the idea of hunting these species. He held in a low voice, signaling Xiao Hui to go on alert. Then came to an ice mouth. A pair of light blue wolf eyes looked at the fish at the ice mouth. I want to see if there are any other types of fish in the Arctic Ocean when the warm season is coming. So far, Surin has only eaten Arctic salmon and northern pike. The taste is very delicious. Su Lin has been eating walrus meat for the past few days, and he is getting tired of eating it. Even if you can't catch some new types of fish and get evolution points, then catching some northern baby fish can be regarded as improving the food. It has been a long time since I have eaten tender, delicious, smooth and juicy fish. The sound of swimming water sounds. An Arctic baby fish swims past the mouth of the ice layer, but far from the mouth of the ice, Su Lin didn't make a move. Since no lemmings were caught for bait, so this time, if you want to catch fish, the difficulty soars. Su Lin watched seriously. After staring at it for more than 10 minutes, not a single fish swam to the mouth of the ice layer. This made Su Lin want to go directly into the sea and go fishing in it. The lungs developed by the potential medicine can last for 5 or 6 minutes without breathing. But in the end, I didn't take the risk. After all, the water is a strange environment. With Su Lin's strength, it is not bad to be able to display 2 or 3 achievements in the water. Speed will also be greatly limited. So it's better to be steady. This time, Su Lin stayed at the mouth of the ice layer for more than half an hour. Finally, a very small fish swam to the mouth of the ice. Race, whitefish. Level 1. Vitality, 105. Stamina, 13. Strength, 3. Defense, 8. Speed, 16. This is a whitefish, only about 20 centimeters long. Although it was small, it still made Su Lin's eyes shine. When the whitefish was only 30 to 40 centimeters away from the mouth of the ice layer, Su Lin moved. His claws hidden in the fur popped out completely, shining coldly in the soft sunlight. Crash! The sound of breaking the sea. Su Lin's speed and strength have also improved a lot compared to before. So this time, with a quick, precise and ruthless shot, the sharp wolf claws penetrated the white fish and quickly fished it ashore. For this white fish, Surin intended to use it as blood bait and started catching the rest of the fish. Tear. Open up the struggling little white fish, but Su Lin just cut off the internal organs and gills of the little white fish with his sharp claws and threw them into the water. After all, Su Lin has never eaten the meat of the little white fish. Flesh and flesh can also provide some evolutionary value for oneself. Waiting aside, new fish take the bait. Surin used an evolution potion and began to eat white fish. Evolution potion, Surin currently has nearly 20 of them, so it's not really budget-friendly. As long as it is newly acquired prey, he intends to use the evolution potion before eating to maximize the increase in evolution value. Ding! The host eats white fish and gains 6 evolutionary points. The evolutionary value given by the white fish is not high, and it only has 6 points after a 3-fold increase. But talk is better than nothing. Su Lin also started to eat the remaining fish meat. The white fish is very small, only weighing 3 or 4 catties. But the taste is delicious. The meat is white and tender, delicious, but not fishy. It is very delicious fish. At the same time, the acquisition of evolutionary value has been reminded all the time. Ding! The host eats white fish and gains 5.5 evolutionary points. Ding! The host eats white fish and gains 5 evolutionary points. Ding! The host eats white fish and gains 4.5 evolutionary points. After eating a white fish in a few bites, he also gained more than 30 evolutionary points. And then, look at the mouth of the ice layer. Already 2 or 3 Arctic salamanders have been attracted. Really, even when the warm season comes, it was this fierce fish that was attracted by the smell of blood. But in the face of these fish, Su Lin didn't intend to let it go, and the sharp wolf claws popped out again. Once again, wolf claws cut through the water, claw stabbed tenaciously, an Arctic baby fish that came to food. The Arctic salamander is fierce and still struggling. But Surin's current power is not comparable to that of the Arctic baby fish. Grabbed it directly. Next, in the same way, it took about 2 hours. Su Lin caught 8 fish from below again and came up. 7 of them are Arctic salamanders. And a gray trout. This gray trout has a level 2 attribute and weighs 6 to 7 catties. Surin cut open the gray trout, take a bite, there was some light in his eyes. Ding! The host eats gray trout and gains 15 evolutionary points. 15 points of evolution, this trip is not in vain, and the evolution potion is not in vain. It is estimated that this gray trout can also provide him with 100 or so evolutionary points. By the time, even if you can't break through level 8, it's almost the same. Thinking that the breakthrough is getting closer and closer, Su Lin's desire to eat became even stronger. Evolution, only by evolution can we become stronger and gain more powerful power. I don't know, when I evolve to a dozen or 20 levels, how far will it reach with a body of strength? Surin gorged on the gray trout. In a short time, the gray trout was eaten up. A total of more than 120 evolutionary points were provided to him, counting the more than 30 evolutionary points gained from eating the whitefish just now. This time I came to the ice layer, and the harvest is not bad. At present, it is still short of dozens of evolutionary points, before breaking through to level 8. At that time, just eat musk beef or walrus meat for a few days, the evolution value is almost enough. Level 8. Just around the corner, this made Su Lin feel a little happy. Ah! He howled, then motioned to Xiao Hui to come and eat. Although Xiao Hui had eaten fish before, but now, once again, the mouth is full of saliva. And Su Lin went to the marine garbage department and found a small fishing net. The most marine debris on the ice is plastic bottles, fishing nets, and foam. Almost everywhere. Feed Xiao Hui with 2 smaller Arctic baby fish. The remaining 5 Arctic salmon were put into fishing nets. I am going to go back and bring it to my cousin and 2 cubs to eat. Especially Wolf Girl, for fish, I think it is more than other foods. But, it was in Surin, when these fish had just been installed, sudden, with the sensitive hearing of the wolves, they heard the howls of the bears from a distance. In Su Lin's pale blue wolf eyes, a flash of light suddenly flashed. After several evolutions, his sense of hearing, sight, and smell have all broken through to the peak of the wolf clan. Can clearly distinguish, the sound came from 3 kilometers away. Ah! He howled, signal Xiao Hui not to eat any more, and bring the caught fish back to the cave. And Surin is to get up quickly, at a speed of more than 50 meters per second, start at full speed. 3 kilometers, perhaps in the eyes of ordinary people, it is not a short distance, but here in Surin, it didn't even last a minute. It was like a white shadow, and it was also like a flash of lightning. Soon, after running all the way, he stopped on a snow slope. Then a pair of light blue wolf eyes condescendingly looked down at the bear clan with a roar. What came into view was a grizzly bear that was 3 meters tall, even a head taller than a polar bear. This grizzly bear is currently taking food from a polar bear. 2 bears, it was also because of this that a fierce confrontation was launched. Pung! The grizzly slapped the polar bear the head. With one palm, the polar bear was staggered. This polar bear is not a female, let alone a cub. Surprisingly, it was the powerful polar bear that Su Lin met under the extreme night, which could hunt white whales. But now, this mighty polar bear seems to have no strength to fight back, and is being abused wantonly by the grizzly bear. Pung! The grizzly slapped the polar bear again, the shoulder. Long claws, directly smashed the polar bear's front shoulder, breaking several scars. Roar! The polar bear is mad with pain. It began to fight back desperately, but this grizzly bear's body is too flexible, and its speed is much faster than ordinary grizzly bears. The polar bear fought back several times, before barely hitting the grizzly once. and he only hit it back a few steps, without causing any effective trauma at all. Roar. With the roar of the angry bear again and again, the polar bear, who had confronted the grizzly bear more than a dozen times, was finally defeated. It dragged the injured bear body and started to flee in a panic. Even the sea lions that were hunted just now were discarded. Facing this scene, Su Lin was a little shocked. He also has an impression of this grizzly bear. Because there are a total of 5 grizzly bears in this area, with a radius of 100 miles. Both ends died under his wolf's claws. And a docile grizzly bear, at the other end, was the female grizzly bear. And this tough and arrogant grizzly bear, which was rising wantonly, was the last grizzly bear. Su Lin didn't expect, I haven't seen it for several months, but this grizzly bear has become so strong. Race, grizzly xenomorph. Level 15. Vitality, 3385. Stamina, 183. Strength, 189. Defense, 185. Speed talent, defense level D. When the numerical attributes of this grizzly bear appeared in front of Su Lin only felt his eyelids twitch wildly. Alien. Sure enough, he guessed right. But this heterogeneous grizzly bear is a bit outrageously strong. It can be called a gorgeous attribute layout, the value is close to 200 at every turn. In particular, even the column of the biggest shortboard speed has reached 89. 89 speed points, what does it mean? Such a speed, it means that the grizzly bear's full speed can reach 20 meters per second. A grizzly bear with such violent attack power and such incomprehensible defense power, with such speed, Su Lin only felt that the polar bear did not deserve to lose. If it drags on, it is estimated that the polar bear will probably be torn here too. Originally, Su Lin only thought that the strength of the alien species was stronger than that of ordinary races. But when you see this grizzly bear, Su Lin felt that the potential of alien races seems to be far more than slightly stronger than ordinary races. It is absolutely possible to break through the upper limit of race. Roar. At this time, the alien grizzly also discovered the white wolf on the snow through its extremely sensitive sense of smell. It stands upright with a 3-meter-tall bare body, the invincible and tyrannical arrogance on his body rose wantonly. Those jet-black bear eyes were also looking at Su Lin on the high slope. And at this time a lynx with a body size of 1.89 meters and purple hair all over, I was also attracted by the strong smell of blood and roaring here. This lynx is standing on another snow slope, those green eyes swept across the mighty grizzly bear without the slightest fear. The size of this lynx, it doesn't look big, but in contrast, for the race of lynx, has exceeded its own limit. Su Lin thought about it, appeared in front of my eyes, the numerical attributes of this lynx, race, lynx xenomorph. Level 10. Vitality, 869. Stamina, 89. Strength, 116. Defense, 72. Speed, 131. Talent, latent D level. The attributes of the lynx are relatively not as abnormal as the grizzly bear. This is also the limitation brought by the species. The more powerful species mutate into different species, then the strength it brings is naturally stronger, but the superb speed of this lynx makes it not afraid of this grizzly bear. Alien. This is also a head alien. But, this alien lynx has the same development path as Surin, it's all about speed. But it is far inferior to Su Lin. As for the grizzly bear species, due to the species reason, the attribute is strong, the speed is still not high, and the threat it poses is not great. Roar. At this time, the grizzly below, I have already noticed the lynx that appeared on the other side. Its dark eyes, he looked at lynx, then at Su Lin. Finally, he just picked up the sea lion corpse on the ground and left silently. Then the green eyes of the lynx and Surin looked at each other. With a strong intuition, the alien also sensed that the other party was not easy to mess with, so he quietly retreated. It looks like. After Little Gray and Little Lone Wolf successively became different species through eating a lot, there are already other creatures that have quietly evolved into alien species. This scene made Su Lin feel that these creatures in nature should not be underestimated. Some creatures with extraordinary talents do not grow up slowly. Especially on that lynx, there is a kind of extremely fierce arrogance in the little lone wolf. This arrogance is obviously from killing. And this lynx is not an Arctic species, it should have slipped to the North Pole from somewhere. With pale blue wolf eyes, Su Lin watched them leave, only then did he turn around, ready to go back to the cave. With Su Lin's current speed, he returned to the territory in a short time. After coming back, just a long howl, start summoning 2 female wolves. The 2 female wolves heard Surin's call, they all wagged their tails and ran over excitedly. For alpha wolves and new packs, the 2 female wolves are now very loyal. After all, every week, the alpha wolf will give him a full meal. This is a treatment that other wolves will never have. After Su Lin summoned the 2 female wolves, just let them go for a while, and pay special attention to some foreign hunters when patrolling the territory. Once found, report to yourself immediately. This made the 2 female wolves howl again and again to take orders. Next, Surin let them go away. Back to the cave, he saw that Xiao Hui was welcoming him. Ah! Ah! Seeing that the boss came back safely, Xiao Hui also howled happily. As for the few fish brought back, the wolves did not dare to move. Even the little lone wolf, who has the privilege of eating at will, sniffed a few fish, smell a delicious smell of fish, but it still didn't move. Little lone wolf is still very measured. For the food that the wolves have eaten, it can eat some on its own. But this newly caught food, it is always eaten after waiting for Su Lin to distribute it. As for the wolf girl, it's saliva, which has already flowed a lot. Looking at the cuteness of the wolf girl, Su Lin was a little funny. Now in the net, there are 5 fish. Su Lin gave one to little lone wolf, cousin, wolf sister, and gray little wolf, respectively. As for the 2 wolves, he has no points. High wolves are the lowest level among wolves. At present, Su Lin's treatment for Hailang is not low. Naturally, I didn't plan to divide the food. He also saved the last fish for the wolf girl. Wolf girl is very fond of fish. It is also the only one in the wolf pack that is related to him by blood. Naturally, we should pamper him more. After dividing the food, several wolves started to eat. Cousin, sister wolf and little gray wolf already have experience in eating fish. So it's a breeze. The sharp claws cut open the belly of the fish, the fresh and tender taste of the fish immediately spread throughout the cave. Only the little lone wolf eats for the first time, but the clever little lone wolf learned it all just by watching the other wolves eat fish. They even used their sharp claws to scrape off the outer scales of the fish, which made it easier to eat. Seeing this scene, Su Lin paid more attention to the little lone wolf. Because of the little lone wolf, his IQ has also grown rapidly. If it grows at this rate, it is estimated that it won't be long before it will be as good as the 2 alien species we met today. Among them, the lynxes are different species, and their attributes are not balanced. Speed and strength are strengths, but the speed is far behind Su Lin. Even in terms of strength, it is not as powerful as Su Lin's strengthened right claw. Therefore, Su Lin was already preparing to set his hunting sights on this alien lynx in the next step. Exotic meat, not only taste, far beyond ordinary species, the evolutionary value obtained is definitely not comparable to ordinary species. The last time a grizzly bear cub was eaten, it has been clearly verified. If this lynx is captured this time, the essence of a level 10 alien lynx would definitely provide a lot of evolutionary value. But just to be on the safe side, Su Lin still planned to advance to level 8 before attacking this lynx. By the way, observe more these 2 days, this lynx. Know thyself, ever victorious. In addition to lynx, nowadays, Surin's next hunting goal, there are also polar bears, seals, Arctic ducks, and snow owls among them. Snow owl, through his observations these days, he has already determined the location of several snow owls' lairs. For these flying birds, only in their nests, waiting for a rabbit. At present, Su Lin's speed would be within the range of 50 meters if he was lurking. Enough to kill them completely before they have time to react. The genes and flesh of these species, it is also the fuel for Surin's next promotion. With his evolutionary route planning, time is passing quietly, soon it was dark. The fish that were also separated from Surin by the wolves were all eaten. Obviously feeling unfulfilled. The little lone wolf ate fish for the first time. It is also surprisingly delicious for the taste of fish. After thinking about it, he will also catch fish for the wolves to eat. Currently in the cave, only the wolf girl and a fish. The wolf girl took the fish brother wolf left for her, and came to the sleeping corner. Then he dug out some gravel with his small claws and buried the fish in it. Then he came to brother wolf again and rubbed him affectionately. Although the wolf girl is heartless, she can still feel the care and love of the wolf brother. And at this time, dark night falls. On the border of Siberia, several modified off-road vehicles drove into the Arctic range. Next, after reaching the North Pole, the poachers stopped. There are a total of 12 of these people, fully armed. They stayed where they were, and after waiting for a while, Franz and his assistant also arrived. Franz is the initiator of this hunt. He has observed the lynx for a long time. That lynx not only surpassed ordinary lynxes in size, but also surpassed ordinary lynxes in IQ. Besides, he was also curious about some of the Arctic creatures in Tiffany's paper. Since we are going to the North Pole, no matter what, let's catch them together. What he mobilized this time is a well-known team in the security industry. The leader is called Slanka. As long as money is given around the world, there is nothing he dare not do. Master Franz has finally arrived. My brother and I have been waiting for a long time. With a height of 1.89 meters and a beard, Slanka looks very unrestrained and wild. Step up and shake hands with Franz. There was a flash of vigor in his eyes. Okay, what weapons and equipment have you prepared? This capture mission is not low risk. Franz also shook hands with Slanka politely, because he knew that the man in front of him might seem to respect him very much, but it definitely doesn't mean that I can completely command this man. Slanka and his men are just a group of lunatics who are desperate for money. At this time, Slanka introduced boldly, I didn't bring some big guys. After all, it costs money to transport them, but if you just capture a few animals, these weapons are enough. These are two near defenders, with large caliber shotguns in their hands. Within 30 meters, all living beings are equal. Even if a polar bear resists a few shots, it will not die or be disabled. These 8 are assaulters. The rifles in their hands have a long range and high penetration. Franz also nodded to this group of people and said, okay. Got it. I believe our mission this time will be a complete success. In other words, version. Next, standing right in front of him, he took out a list. To this group of people, 80 million rubles, please hunt a lynx and the species on this list. I hope we can cooperate happily. At this time, Slanka, after taking the list, I looked at the above are some very common species. He smiled and shouted loudly, brothers, fight for the ruble. For rubles. Many subordinates also shouted wildly. Next, a group of them left in an off-road vehicle. Franz and his assistant also followed the group to the icy and snowy North Pole, because he wanted to be the first to see these creatures with extremely research value, and wanted to be the first to adopt their genes. If something is really researched, then he has mastered the latest genetic technology of this era. By the time, also for those who think he's crazy and his genetics is nonsense, what is real academics? Devouring evolution, I was reborn as an Arctic wolf. And mastered the latest genetic technology. As long as he wants, even the richest man in Russia is at your fingertips. No. He will be the richest man in the world. He wants to become a super chable that has never appeared in the world. But Franz, who was imagining, would never have imagined, their line of well-armed hunters, this trip to the North Pole, turned out to be a trip for souls. Time flies, another few days passed in the blink of an eye. Su Lin has eaten 100 caddies of musk beef these days, gained 50 evolutionary points, breakthrough level 8, and it's almost there. These days, Surin also relied on his speed to track and observe the lynx twice. The hearing, smell and vision of wolves are so sharp that they are scary. Just like a small radar. By observing Surin, it was found that this lynx obviously just came to the North Pole, and it doesn't even have its own hunting territory or lair. Every time, you can only go to the territory of other hunters to hunt. Just yesterday, with a pack of 6 Arctic wolves, fighting started because of food. The attack and power of the lynx are in a state of crushing, with a fierce arrogance. Even though the wolves cooperated very well, one was killed and another was seriously injured by the lynx. Then here, settled down for a short time. It's just that Su Lin still hasn't realized the talent of this lynx. But no regrets, at least the fighting power displayed by this lynx is not a threat to him. Lynx speed, at present, it is only more than 30 meters per second, which is slightly stronger than the cheetah. But compared with Su Lin, it is still a bit far behind. Next, Su Lin stopped by to see Father Wolf and Mother Wolf. Ready to see Wolf Father and Wolf Mother. How is your life recently? After coming, it happened that Father Wolf was inspecting the territory. During this period of time, Dad Wolf has also grown in size. It has reached the point of 2 meters, 3-4. With a thought, Father Wolf's latest attribute appeared before his eyes. The Wolf Father, who was already at the peak of level 6, after taking the foreign serum, finally reached level 7. Race, Arctic Wolf Xenomorph. Level 7. Vitality, 823. Stamina, 82. Strength, 81. Defense, 78. Speed, 79. Father Wolf's current strength is already extremely strong. The explosive power contained in the 2-meter 3-4 wolf body can completely protect the entire wolf pack. And most of the wolves develop in a balanced manner. Almost nothing, two obvious shortcomings. The galloping speed of an ordinary Arctic wolf is about 10 meters per second. Father Wolf's current speed of 79 has reached a speed of nearly 20 meters per second. If attacking in ambush, with Dad Wolf's current strength, he can completely kill an unsuspecting reindeer, of course. A lonely reindeer. If there are groups of reindeer, wolves are still needed to fight. Ah! Seeing my little boy coming, Father Wolf was also very excited. After rushing up, I licked the hair of my little boy. Evolved into alien species, Father Wolf's IQ, which was not low at all, got another boost. Amidst the wolf father's wolf howl, already able to communicate and express clearly, complete meaning. And there is more discipline in what to do. The authority of the alpha wolf is also heavier among wolves. Ah! Father Wolf held to communicate, signal Su Lin to come to the cave to eat. Since its strength has improved by leaps and bounds, these days, he led the wolves to attack again, and gained a lot. Even the mighty herd of musk oxen succeeded once by sneak attack, successfully hunted down an immature male calf. Besides, also hunted an old moose. It can be said, this period of time, the life of the wolves is not too good. Currently in the cave, in addition to the food eaten during this period, there is still a full 800 or 900 caddies of food. This is a life that wolves have never had before, and the wolf father with higher IQ, he also controlled the wolves and started a small-scale expansion. Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.